Good morning. Let me get everything loaded up and loaded in and shared around, and we will get this show on the road, guys. So good morning, and I hope you have lovely coffee because I have a fantastic project in mind for us today. So let me get this live chat popped out and popped into the encoder. Pop out chat. Let's see, copy link. Boom, boom. All right, chat. Where's the properties? And put that guy there. And then let's go over to the tube of you and share. What's the difference between embedding and sharing? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's go over to Facebook. Let's go over to Knightsmith, the group. If you guys haven't joined it yet, I suggest you do. I'm just getting back into all this Facebook stuff. Post. And we'll share that. So yes, today we are doing a giveaway. Why is there a Q in there? Come on. So let's see how quickly we can get on with this. Let's go over to the Reddit. And see what's going on there. Reddit mail? Probably just someone responding to a message. Oh, okay. Just another terms of use thing. Create post. Link. Now, now I'm trying to get, on this whole Reddit thing and everything, guys. What you call it? The Knightsmith has its own official Reddit account. It's Knightsmith Official. You can see my maker's mark as the profile picture. I post things there. I post things here. I guess I cannot do that way. Huh. Interesting. Let's do the share then. Guess I cannot embed in Reddit, but I can in Facebook. Go figure. Anyways. So, let's do a little personal stuff for a minute here. Everything is going great at the shop. I need more time, but that's always going to be a thing, because I always need more time at the shop. Even when I'm able to do this full time, I'm sure I'm going to need more time at the shop. But yeah, whatever. So today's giveaway. I'm loving this coffee this morning. it's got to be something simple. I've always had this thought in my head about, you know, everyday carry. And now at work, I'm going to be going out in the field more often and doing building surveys and stuff. I was out with the owner the other day, and the problem I have is I have like I take like 8 different or 6 different you know, pencils and pens and stuff with me. And the reason for that is when I draw the floor plan, I draw it all in black ink. I go around and I check everything out first. I draw it all out in black ink, and then I do all the dimensions in all the room dimensions in you know, black pencil. I do all the ceiling heights and stuff in green pen. I do all of the special notes in blue, and then I do all the, you know, door and window openings and you know, those sorts of things in red. That way I get everything on one sheet, and I can visually pick out, you know, each individual thing. The problem that arises is that I have this whole mess of pens and pencils and stuff in my pocket. So I'm going to try and solve that today. And that's what the giveaway is going to be. It's going to be a pencil carrier. And I want to get more and more into this whole, you know, EDC, everyday carry type thing. So I think for today's, I'm going to start out with, you know what, let's start out with that white leather. This stuff right here. Let's get a good piece for it. You be a good size? No. This would be a good one. Nice and long. We got that. We got the leather. Okay. What else do we need? These guys, Neil and Yo. I think that's all we need in there for now. Might have to get a snap later. That's later. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I like it, getting things that are the less they require, the faster things go. Also, the more organized I end up getting, the better things get. And let's go over to the chat for a hot minute here. Joe, good morning. How we doing today, buddy? Hope you have a nice cup of coffee with me. You know, I have one very special project on my table right now that is absolutely kicking my butt. I still can't talk to you guys about it, but it is absolutely killing me. And it's just right out of view right now. All right, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. I need about 10 more of me to be doing great, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. And halfway through this video, I should be able to reveal something very fun, very interesting. Should be. I'll make no guarantees. first, I think I need a clean edge on here. So let's go over to the project camera so you can see what I'm doing. I think this would be smarter if I did it the other way. Quick strop on this. I love how nicely a freshly stropped blade cuts leather. It is just, there are a few things as pleasurable that don't involve pleasure as just a nice, fresh, freshly sharpened blade just cutting right through something. It's hard to explain that to somebody who doesn't understand. Now, let's get how big this thing needs to be. I think if I do 3/4 of an inch, center everything 3/4 of an inch. I'll center the stitches every 3/4 of an inch. That'd be more than a big enough pocket for each pen and pencil I have. So what does that work out to be? Wow, he is angry. I don't know if you can hear him, but he is an angry little tomato today. Oh boy. So let's see. Black pen, green pen, black pencil, red pencil. So that's 3/4, 1.5 inches, 3 inches. So let's do that. Let's give me a little wiggle room to start off with. And we'll do 3.5 inches. Let's do 3.25. Yeah, 3.25 because I'm going to want to start my seam with 1/8 inch and then 3/4 inch from there. Let's do that. Well, that was a mistake. And this is why you prototype and you give away the prototype. So there's that. So we'll have it fold over like that. Oh, I need to clean this leather. I'll have this guy come down. Yeah, it didn't cut exactly as square as I wanted. I can trim that up later. I know one side's square and I'll work off this. But the point of you know, everyday carry, it's not, this isn't, you know, it's not just for pens and such. It's for the whole idea that like an everyday carry bag is so that you can, you know, the things you carry on a regular basis. So judging from that, you know, okay, if I have to carry all this stuff every single time, if I put it in this one thing, all I have to do is grab this and go. It'll stay organized in your pocket, and it'll be fast and easy to grab it and just get out the door. And that's the whole purpose behind it. So let's say a regular pen. How long do we have? Rather, a regular pencil. So we're sitting at about, let's call it 6 inches. So we're at 5 inches to there. So let's do a 4.5. Yeah, let's do a 4.5 inch flap to start. .5 inches there. So that'll take us up to 9 inches over the whole thing. Right? 4.5, 4.5, 9. Yeah. I need to learn to check my math a lot more fastidiously. Because I made a few errors on a recent project that really were not fun. So do that right there. And that'll sit in there nicely. We can take this guy and plop him over the front. That's a nice little pouch. We'll figure out the length on this later. This might actually end up being one of my shortest project videos. I think in the future too, I'm going to make this out of veg tan, I think. Give me 1 second. I want to clean this leather. I have some leather cleaner. Let me clean this leather real quick. No, that's fine. So I've just started getting into I'm starting to do slightly higher end you know, leather work. And one thing that it necessitates is, you know, I'm going to be doing dyeing and painting and carving and stuff. And to get good results, one of the things that it necessitates is, deglazers and stuff. Now, I got this one, and it smells awful. Unlike the gum trag that I got, this smells horrible. But it takes so much off. It strips everything off the leather that you don't want there. And I got this off of Weaver Leathercraft. So it's a very good product. Works very well, but definitely requires a stiff nose. The thing with this, though, you have to be very careful. If you're too aggressive with it, you can strip the finish off the leather as well, especially on chrome tans. You can see all the crud. It's just pulling right off that leather. Take the clean side. Squeaky clean. Right. It's much better. But yeah, this stuff is so noxious, I keep it. Make sure it's sealed tight. And I also keep it in a plastic bag. Let's put that away. One thing about plastic bags real quick. Whenever I put something in a plastic bag that I'm concerned about, I always squeeze all the air out of it first. That way, in case something's vaporizing inside the bag or degassing, you can see the bag puff up over time. Just a quick little indicator for you that there's a potential problem. Okay, so I feel much better about that. Now, let's start doing our marking here. It's 3 inches. Actually, you know, I don't have to mark the inside of this. I just have to get this guy here to lie over, I believe. Right? Yeah, I think that's right. So all I have to do is find where this and this intersect parallel, so I can get the laid in here. On that note, I should probably do this one because I only need half that distance. For the thing. For the TEDS tape. Or is there a faster way to do this? If I hold this side constant, I can come over here. There's always a better way if you think through things. I don't know if that's the best way, to be honest, but let's claim it is for now. So we got that, so yeah, that's not a fantastic edge. Do I have any light sandpaper? This will do. Now, normally with the I don't know if I can burnish these edges or not. Usually only what you call it's burnishable. Let's try. Now this stuff does smell great. It's from Weaver. I love it. It's the gum trag they sell. Let's give it a shot because why not, right? I don't think it's going to. But if it does, this will be very, very nice. So kind of. Okay, so where's the let's get the wax on there. That kind of worked. Excuse me. This might turn out way better than I thought it would. Yeah, that works. Okay. That is fantastic. So, got these done. Ted's tape, both sides. We'll do that, and we'll get this line stitched first. And then we'll figure out the pockets on the inside. I don't think I really need I mean, should I? Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, it's not really necessary to get stuff in there on each one. So. And I don't know if you're watching this natively on Facebook or not, but if you are, I'm not seeing your comments. So you're going to have to move over to YouTube if you want to participate in the giveaway section of this. That live stream was just a test to see how the embedding on Facebook and stuff went. I'm not really good at all these social media things, so gonna have to give me a little leeway that, you know, as far as that's concerned. And as far as I'm concerned, also, the verdict is still out on this TEDS tape. It's great for doing certain things. And you don't have to mark like you do if you're using, you don't have to be as precise with it as you do if you're using what you call it, a barge cement. However, it can be a bit of a pain in the butt to use. You can see it's, you know, delaminating from its own roll a little bit. So, we'll see. Alright. So, get this up. This won't end up being my fastest giveaway yet. There we go. Hammerhead was starting to come off. So, there we go. Now, terms on the terms for the what you call it, for the giveaway. It has to be you have to be present by the time the video is finished. You have to be in the live stream. So I don't know how that affects things with the embedding on Facebook. Nothing I do is age restricted, really, other than for, you know, YouTube reasons. So you just have to be, you know, of legal age. There is no purchase required. There is no anything required. Let's hammer down this backside too, just to make it a little easier on me later. And the way it works is at the end, I'll call for a number, and I'll give you the criteria for the number, you know, between 1 and whatever, or 10 and whatever, or 50 and whatever. And then I do a random number generator. And whoever's closest wins. It is contingent upon you to get me your name and address so I can ship it to you. However, I take care of all the shipping costs. You know, you're not required to pay anything. That turned out pretty well. Quick trim on those once it's stitched, and it'll look really nice. You are not required to pay anything. No purchase necessary. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And for, you know, a list of full rules and stuff, there is a link in the description down below. So, still not happy with how that's turning out. Where's the camera? It's a little bit better. The more this is hammered down, I missed what, Joe, I missed where you said what you're making. I'm making a, this is an everyday carry pouch for pens. It's basically a glorified pen case. And I want to branch out into making a few EDC cases. You know, one for pens for when I'm going on jobs and stuff, and make that available. One for just general everyday carry, so something that has a multi-tool in it, pen, spot for a little notebook. But I go on jobs and do building surveys and stuff, and I have to have, I use 4 different colored pencils and pens when I'm doing it, so I can get everything all in one sheet for each floor. Problem is, when I'm doing that, I get, you know, all the pens get jangled up and messed up in my pockets. So this will hopefully solve that particular problem. So we're going to do a flap here. I think I should put the hole in it now, because it might be too difficult once it's all together. That sounds logical, right? Get that out of the way. Just down here for a moment. Now, let me steal from this one, and I'll just put a new. New post on this one. I'm doing this all the time. I'm always taking a post off this one, putting on a new project, and then putting another post on that guy. Oh boy. So what size does this guy go? I think that goes the smallest. Let's just a little test here on a scrap. I can never remember. and I really should. Nope. Next size up. Did that work better? Should. Yeah, that's the size. Okay, so what did I say this was? 3.5 inches. It's 3.5. Where's my scratch all? It's 3.5. Let's go down about that far. So half of that would be 1.75. Go down a little bit further. That looks good. So there's that. And for this, we can actually get this done now, but I'm going to worry about that later. I might as well mark everything out now. So 4 colors. So let's do this. 3.5 divided by 4 is 0.875. Actually, no. It's 3.25 divided by 3. 3 stitch lines for 4 compartments. 1.08 inches. So first thing I need to do is mark my stitch lines. Let's do that. Start here, 1/8. There. Do 1/8 down here. One-eighth over here. And 1/8 in here. So there's the stitch lines. And then, so from there, I said I was going to go 3/4 of an inch. And that's how I wound up with the 3 1/4, perfect. That's how I wound up with the, whatchamacallit. So there's that one. 1.5. And that's so that is slightly off center. That actually works though. Let's do the same thing down here. Okay, so now I'll just be able to go and lay in all the stitch lines. That one is, this side is slightly larger. That's fine. That's fine. So let's get this together. Bloop. Let's start making some holes. I think before I do the stitch, I'll put that in first. I think we'll figure that out later. I wonder, would any of you be interested in buying patterns? Because when I do things, I do make, after I make the prototype, I do make patterns of everything. Yeah, I think one more is enough. So start in on here. This project is moving right along, and I like that. I'm not going to stitch all the way down to the bottom with the center ones. Mostly because there's no real need to. when you do something like this, you can get away with being a little bit more not free flowing, but a little bit more relaxed, because I mean, a pen, you know, if you get most of it, even down here would be fine, because it's not going to wobble, you know, all the way over. The pockets aren't that big; they're just big enough just for a pencil. And maybe in the future I'll make these pockets a little bit bigger, like 1 inch or something. There we go. So guys, I'm really not sure, but how is that embedded thing in Facebook working? Is it showing up as watch time? Is it like, I don't know how that's appearing, how that's working. I don't know if it's, you know, a dead link or not. I really have no idea. A lot of things I'm not knowledgeable about. Actually, there's a real lot of things I'm not knowledgeable about, but I pretend I am. If you guys decide to make something like this for yourself too, you know, I have all of these coming down to roughly the same spot. What you can do is have this one long and these two, you know, short, and that'll give you some visual look as well. Let's get this off onto the side. I think I'll do some white thread on this, because I don't think I've used the white thread yet. So I hope everyone's weekend has been going well. It's just one of those things that are, you know, interesting. There's 2 people in here, which is fantastic. There's going to be a good amount of stitching, I guess. So let's see. I'll do the normal 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then give myself a little extra. And where are my little snips? Best scissors I've ever worked with. They came in a nice cheap leather kit, and everything else was just, you know, mediocre. But it's a good kit to get started with. But honestly, I would have bought that kit just for this pair of scissors. The maker's mark on it is quickly. I really should put a link to that starter kit down in the description below. I talk about it enough. But you know, it's a good kit if you're starting out. It gives you everything you need to actually get your, you know, teeth cut on some leather. And well, it was exclusively what I used for the first 2 or 3 videos here. And clearly it did the job of getting me caught on the leatherworking bug. Why is this so hard to pierce? There we go. I know this isn't how you stitch when you're doing, you know, regular thread and stuff, but since you're doing saddle stitching, this is a fantastic little thing. Doing a knot like this. It's a little bit more hassle up front, but it doesn't come undone. And you don't have to worry about either end of your needle, you know, getting all funky. Or having to rethread mid-stitch. So okay, so no, I want to start from the bottom. I want to start from the bottom. Oh, it's adorable. She's arguing with him. One pro tip, if you guys are going to be doing leather, stitch, punch from the hero side. Because while the back side will look okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter if you're using a regular set, but if you use you're blah blah blah. If you're using a diamond punch, stitch from the front side or the hero side. Because the back side will look okay. But the front side is where you get the most pronounced diamond pattern. That's the side you're going to see the most often is, you know, this inside where you're going to be, you know, fiddling with your pens and such. Still keep the back nice and tidy, but punch from the hero side. Just makes things look so much nicer. And we have a third person watching. Good morning and welcome. Hope you have a nice cup of coffee to warm yourself up. It's a little chilly outside today, but honestly, it's fall. My favorite part. It's my favorite time of year. So. I'll switch over to the face cam so I could talk to you guys a little bit more directly, because this isn't much to see. I'm just sewing here, so let's switch over to that face cam. this out of the way for the time being. See, Joe, you said something. Hey, so want a cool piece of news? Tentatively February, I will be competing for the first time in powerlifting since getting injured last year. Dude, that's awesome. That is really cool news. That's great news. Good for you. Let's even out those stitches a little bit. Oh, puckering. Oh, well. That's really awesome, dude. You psyched? And I'm going to sound like a total idiot on this, but what events, I guess it would be, are you taking place in? Like, you know, deadlift, powerlift? Like, I don't know the different events. So which ones are you taking place in? Do you know yet, or? I really don't know how this works, so. Actually, come to think about it, there's a lot I don't know how it works. Are you still live? Yes, I am still live. Are you guys still here? Is something happen? I should still be here. Still says I'm streaming on YouTube. Huh. I tried to comment and it wouldn't let me for a minute. That's strange. That's weird. Yeah, I'm still here. Everything's still functioning. It could have been a little glitch or something. Happens. Let's even out these stitches. Anyway, essentially it's a weight class competition where there's a set of lifts and you try to hit the biggest ones. Okay. Well, dude, that's awesome. That's the Reader's Digest version. I appreciate that. That gives me something in a way that I can understand and quantify it. And there's that. Let's even these out a little bit, and we'll do the back stitch. There's that one. Oop. Snip that. Where is the lighter? Yes. So one line done. That's good. Let's do the other. Actually, we're making fantastic time on this. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. Although I think this might end up being one of those items that get machine stitched if I do end up producing them. So let's do the other side first. 1, 2, 3. And I think I'd have to look at the numbers and the time on it. But I think if I can machine stitch this, this could probably be a $20 or $30 item. And I think that'd be a great compliment to the rest of my stuff because yeah, this is not fantastic here, so let's do here. I think that'd be a great compliment to the rest of my lineup because everything else is expensive. Maybe I should have started with this side first. Sounds like we have Bam Bam out there. Everyone's so quiet today. At least you're talking, Joe. So, yeah, this one's not going so bad on the bottom side here. You know, there really should be some ruling or something against, you know, I just thinking in my head, there should be some rule or something against, or not against, but for using or not getting penalized if you do a live stream or something, or you know, you go live or whatever, do a podcast and there's music in the background, not because you play the music, but because that's what's there, regardless of if you're live streaming or not. Does that make sense? Because what if, you know, in the middle of a live stream, the neighbor decides to blast, you know, whatever, corn or whoever as loud as possible? Well, through no fault of my own, that's getting into my live stream. Not that I wanted it or anything else. So why would I be penalized for something that, you know, that I have no control over? Gotta have a little sip of coffee. So as far as what's going on in the news today, at least in news in my circle, have you seen all this stuff going on with Joe Rogan and the Joe Rogan podcast and everything since he's moved to Spotify? The reason I'm bringing this up is he's the premier guy in podcasting. He's like #1 podcaster in the world. So whatever happens to him will affect everyone else in that genre. And I'm not saying just of the genre of what he talks about, but everyone who does podcasting is going to be affected by what happens to Joe at some point in the future. So this could set a really bad precedent for podcasting. So, okay, so you can't be uncensored and have a company own your show. This is true. But it's going to be more than that. And I hope you do realize it's not about being uncensored or anything else. I think it's going to have very far-reaching implications for everyone, not just people who talk, you know, edgy or whatever else. I think it's going to be. I think it can end up very taking it into a very scary and restricted place where, I don't know. I don't like talking about news. I don't want to talk about politics on here, but this is something that's going to directly affect everyone in the space. And I don't want to put a political slant on it, even though there definitely is, if you listen to anyone else or the news. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I don't mean uncensored as in cursing or vulgarity. I mean censored as in controlling the them controlling the narrative. Yeah. They control a lot now of Joe's show, even though they promised him that he would be, you know, free to do everything that he wanted, uncensored, unrestricted. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think it was a very bad move by Joe. I think it was a very bad move. But the thing is, this was a thing before Spotify. A network controls what's said on one of their shows. It is. But it also comes down to they're saying it's a lot of the Spotify employees are saying it's a violation. What he's saying on his show is a violation of their civil rights because they have to hear that where they work. And that's why they're doing all of this protesting, and they want to, you know, do a walkout and everything. Which to me doesn't make sense. Oh, I did that backwards. My mistake. But here's the thing as far as violation of rights. You knew, you had a pretty good idea of what you were getting into before you started working there. And someone saying something is different than someone taking action, like physical action against you. And I think people need to learn that those two cannot be conflagrated together. Let's see, Joe. I've said for a long time I will never sell any of my shows for this very reason. That's a very good idea. In 2020, anytime does anything anyone said doesn't like, it's a violation of rights. It's absurd. But I mean, let's say you work at a news station. Right? You're working at a news station where there are human beings who have to go out and, you know, interview the world. You're gonna run into that stuff. It's reality. It's not a violation of rights. It's doing your job. I work on things I don't agree with. I have to abide by decisions at the office that I don't agree with. The owner of where I work has kind of the opposite political beliefs as I do. And he has those signs right in front of the office. And I have to see them every morning when I pull into the office. Is that a violation of my rights? No, it's not. I think it's a stupid move to, you know, broadcast your politics at the office. Even more so, you know, in front of people who are going to give you work, not necessarily your employees, but your clients. You might lose work that way, but I don't think it's a violation of anyone's rights. I just think it's stupid. but let's see, Joe. Yeah, it's called having a realistic perspective. Your point of view isn't the center of the universe, and realize that life is about not agreeing with people. It's not just not agreeing with people, it's finding people you don't agree with and then coming to compromise. And sometimes that compromise is, you're out of my life, I'm not talking to you anymore. That compromise should never be, I don't like what you're saying, I will make you change what you think. That's not compromise. That is intolerance, actually, by its definition. Isn't it? So let's see how this works real quick before I make a major mistake. And maybe these are too small. Maybe not. We'll see. Perfect for the punches. The only way to really know for sure is to what you call it. Ooh, Smarter Every Day has a new video. But the only way to really get through this is just to keep pushing back against people who want to change how you think, how you talk, because they think they're fighting for tolerance, and they're really not. They're very intolerant in that perspective. But that's as far as I'm going to go down that rabbit hole. Either way, I think it's a very dangerous and very scary thing that's happening with the Joe Rogan Show right now for people who do or want to do what we do. So let me pop this down for just a quick second so you can see what the progress is. Right now, this is just a simple pouch. Technically, I could just stop here, call it done, cut the flap, and put the post in and say it's done. I could. I'm not. I'm going to put in these stitch lines here. But, you know, if you ever want just a simple pouch, boom, done. I'm definitely going to beat the 3-hour mark with the show today, which I am very happy with that. I'm sure the wife is going to be happy with that as well, because then she can use this room to put the kid down. And while she's doing that, I'll clean. He'll take a little nap. And we can get on with the day, which is going to be kind of awesome. Let's even up the thread. 3 little stitches left. One cut and one hold punch. Getting these first couple stitches is a little tricky because if you pull too tight, you're going to pull it out of alignment. Not of alignment, but out of evenness. Evenness, equalization, I guess. I don't know. You'll eventually learn what I'm talking about, even when I don't. And if this turns out to be too small to host a set of pens and pencils. Yes. Where's the Smithicone? 1 second, guys. There's this. Oh, here's the sanitizer. That's okay. Alright guys, I'm back. Kid wanted to go down for a nap a little early. So I think we're going to finish up this stitch line. Test it, do the top, and then, come on. You know what? I think we're going to cut this first because this is getting to be a pain. Let's do that. Do that there. Go with that. A little extra. Go there. Well, not going to take much off, but suppose it's better than nothing. I love how fast a sharp blade cuts. As am I. Well, good morning, Joey. How we doing today, buddy? I don't like that. We'll do something about that in a minute here. passed out playing Avengers and slept 3 hours. Feel like I can take on the world. That's good to hear. I'm doing all right. Nothing super fantastic, nothing crazy. Let's even out these stitches. Let's do it like this so it doesn't mess everything up. Alright, moment of truth. None of my stuff has a thing on it. Do I have one that's just a pencil? Oh, just a pen, that'll work. Perfect. Alright guys, I'm going to leave off here. So, if you want it, put a number between 1 and 5 in the comment section. And let's get this going here. So I can get out of here. The kid can have the room. And I'll finish up these 2 little stitches at another time. Joey with 4. Joe, you have a guess? No, there's 3 people in here. I'm gonna nick these ears here on this. Between 1 and 5. Joey chose 4, so you can choose 1, 2, 3, or 5. 2. And now I see there's a third person watching. So if you want to take a guess real quick, do so as well. There's 2.5 minutes left. Yeah, not 2.5 minutes. Let me just get this in here. Do this. And where did that top stud go? Okay, there's only 2 of you guys. Let's do 2 and 4. I'm gonna laugh because it'll probably come up as 3. Okay, so how can I do this in a way that makes sense? Okay, so let's try it like this. It's gonna be upside down. I do apologize for that. There's not really much I can do. But this way it keeps it honest. We fight to the death. Yes, that's exactly what you do. So, Joey chose 2. Joe chose 4. Let's go to the random number generator. 1 and 5. 2. Well, congratulations, Joe D. You won yourself a pencil case. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Joe, get me your shipping information because you have this now, and then you also still have the glasses case that you won, I do believe. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time, and I'll see y'all later.